At the end of the last century, there was a widely circulated legend called Bus No. 375. It is said that on that night, in addition to the driver and the conductor, there were 4 passengers on Bus No. 375, a couple, a young man, and an old lady. When the bus arrived at the platform, 3 new people got on, wrapped tightly in robes. Suddenly, the old lady grabbed the young man's collar and insisted that he had stolen her wallet. The two argued for a long time and finally decided to get off the bus temporarily and go to the police station to seek justice. But after getting off the bus, the old lady suddenly said to the young man, "Young man, I saved your life. I just saw the wind blowing up the coats of the 3 people. They were all evil ghosts without legs. I was still young at that time and didn't have much impression. I only vaguely remember that everyone was very scared." The police seem to have indeed reported that the missing last bus of bus number 375 was found in Mayan Reservoir. The 4 bodies, including the driver and the conductor, were highly decomposed. Until one day, when I was sorting out past files, I found a handwritten document left by my former intern, teacher and senior reporter Liu Jianjin when he was young, which recorded the whole investigation of Bus No. 375. But since there is an investigation result, why is it not reported publicly? Is this document a detailed and verifiable note, or a fictional reasoning story based on clues? I don't know. I can only make a slight modification, hide some sensitive information, and post the full text. The police gave an official report on this case, and the media in the city reported it, according to the press release, but I always felt something was wrong. On the way home from get off work, I could see that almost everyone was talking about this case, and they told several versions with supernatural colors. What's more interesting is that the supernatural version that is different from the official report happens to explain several doubts in the case from the side. In order to get first-hand information, I found Ma Shuman. Ma Shuman is an old criminal policeman with more than 10 years of experience, and a man of swift and decisive action. Many years ago, I interviewed an advanced individual on behalf of the newspaper, and I got to know him, and we became close friends. Coincidentally, he was also the person in charge of this case. Hearing my request, Ma Shuman kept shaking his head. "No, this is against discipline. I can't take you to the trial." I frowned. "Old Ma, when you got married a few years ago, the banquet was not good enough. Did I find a way to help you get 20 kilograms of food coupons and meat coupons? And the wedding candy? It was also because of my relationship with the department store that I helped you get half a kilogram. Otherwise, I will ask my sister-in-law to persuade you." When Ma Shuman heard it, he hurriedly smiled bitterly and stopped me. "Isn't it okay for me to take you? Don't tell your sister-in-law, otherwise she will nag again. But there are a few subordinates in the interrogation room. How to deal with them depends on you." I smiled proudly and took out a few tickets from my pocket. It's an American movie that will be released this weekend. My classmates from the Ministry of Culture helped me get it. When the time comes, each person will get 1 ticket. I will definitely not treat everyone unfairly. After some operations, I was finally able to participate in the interrogation of Zhu Zhengming as an observer. Oh, Zhu Zhengming is the young man in the story. Standing at the door of the interrogation room, Ma Shuman repeatedly reminded me, "Xiao Liu, we have agreed in advance that you can only listen in and cannot interfere with our work." I nodded and followed him into the interrogation room. Are you Zhu Zhengming? The information says you are a student of the language college." "Yes. I am a sophomore this year." "College student. Why don't you stay in the dormitory at night? What are you doing in the city?" "I am an English tutor. I had dinner at a student's home that night. It was quite late when I went back. Besides you, who else was on the bus that night?" "I got on the bus at the starting station Zizhimen. In addition to the driver and the conductor, there was also a young couple and an old lady on the bus with me. The bus drove a few stops, probably to Suo Jifan, and 3 more people got on. Later I got off the bus. Did anyone get on again? I don't know who they are." "When you reported the case, you said you thought those 3 people were suspicious." "Yes. Although it's autumn now, the weather is not too cold, but they were wearing military coats, wrapping themselves up tightly, and even wearing robes under the coats. At that time, I couldn't help but take a few more glances. It was very abnormal. And Grandma Keon said, "They were not human." Grandma Keon, you mean the old lady who got on the bus with you? Why did she say that? I was originally planning to take the bus all the way back to school, but those 3 people got on the bus for only 2 stops, and Grandma Keon suddenly grabbed me and said I stole her wallet. I felt wronged. So I argued with her for a few words, and then we got off the bus together and planned to go to the police station. But unexpectedly, she apologized to me as soon as she got off the bus, saying that she took me off the bus on purpose because she thought those people were ghosts. Do you believe what she said? I don't know. The teacher said that we should be materialistic, but those people were really strange. They were dressed thickly and wore sunglasses on their faces. The half of their faces that were exposed were very pale, and they just stood there all the way without saying a word. Grandma Keon said that she accidentally saw that the person in the middle had no legs under his robe. Did you see it with your own eyes? Really, no legs? I'm not sure. I didn't look at their legs when they got on the bus, but recalling it, it seemed like they were floating away. Do you have anything else to add? Officer, I heard they were all dead. Is that true? I can't reveal the details. I can only tell you that we found 4 bodies in the car, but according to what you said, there should be 7 more people in the car. It must be those 3 military coats. They are ghosts. They killed the driver. At this point in the interrogation, Zhu Zhengming's mood became a little unstable. He seemed to be very scared of what happened that night, and his spirit was slightly overexcited. The police in charge of the interrogation quickly comforted him, and the interrogation came to an end for the time being. Taking advantage of this time, I winked at Ma Shuman and dragged him out of the interrogation room quietly. Old Ma, there won't be ghosts, right? I couldn't help but shudder. Zhu Zhengming's swearing look just now made it impossible for people to doubt him, especially since he was a college student, which made it even more convincing. Haha, of course, there are ghosts. Ma Shuman smiled, looked at my pale face, and said slowly, "They just exist in people's hearts." I blinked and pondered what Lao Ma said. You mean Zhu Zhengming is lying? He shook his head. That's not necessarily the case, but what he saw may not be the truth. Looking at my confusion, Ma Shuman smiled and patted my shoulder. Don't think about it. We will find out the truth. You just need to record it. Maybe there really is a ghost? In my opinion, Zhu Zhengming's words did not have any useful information, but instead covered the case with a layer of supernatural fog. But Ma Shuman didn't seem to be worried. Perhaps such things were commonplace to him, and were nothing in the face of a real mystery. But I was really scared. Zhu Zhengming's emotions were too contagious to me. I wanted to continue questioning Ma Shuman, but a young policeman came over in a hurry. Team Ma, the traffic company's people are here. Officer Ma put out his cigarette and followed the policeman to another interrogation room. I followed him quietly.